So we are going to be working on Vortex, month 9. This is going to be 8 blocks across here today. Hello, friends. Hello, hello. Hey, Beth. So we are going to be doing this today. This is the first time that we're going to end up with twice the size as before. So I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you a way that maybe we can do this a little bit more efficiently. So instead of doing all of the this block and then all of this block and all of this block, we're going to put all of the piece 1 and 2 together. And then we'll press them and we'll trim them. And then we're going to add piece 3 on. And then we're going to press them and then we're going to trim them. And then we'll add piece 4 and so on and so on and so on. So this may help us teach you a different way to do this. So this month, since we're going to be getting 8 blocks, we are going to be getting twice as much. We are going to be doing, we've already done all of row A, B, C, and D. So now we're going to be working on E and F, blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4 for rows E and for row F. Okay? They're relatively easy blocks, so hopefully it won't take us too long, but there are still a few. There's 5 of the 8 that need put together. This one is going to be probably our most complex block. Okay, so we're going to get started, and like I said, so if anyone has any questions, please shout them out, and hopefully we will not have too many technical issues. So as I was saying, we're going to do all of the piece 1s and piece 2s. This is only 2 pieces to this one. So we're going to work on all of these. So the pieces that aren't quite the whole page, I'm going to trim the excess paper off. All of these trimmed down, and we're going to get started. I'm going to start right here with this one here, which happens to be an F4C. So I'm going to have IM and GN are my piece 1 and piece 2. I've got everything in here alphabetized. There's GN and IM. And I'm kind of a rough cut, hack 'em off, whack 'em off kind of creator. I'll use my light box here. And I do, because some of these pieces, these colors are so very, very, very close to each other, I put them right back in however you're organizing, so that there is no confusion. Now, most of what we're doing today is in the yellow-orange category. So I have kind of like a dandelion yellow-orangish thread in my machine. I want something that's going to kind of blend. If I really want to be persnickety, when I'm working on these pieces over here, I might put something a little darker in, but today I'm deciding that that's going to pretty much work for everything. I'm going to reduce the stitch length in my machine. Standard default on my machine is a 2.4. I drop it down to about a 1.9. And this is going to be my first sewing line. So I'm going to line that piece up so that everything is in the seam. I'm going to put a little pin over here just to kind of hold so it doesn't go dancing away. That is going to fold over here. And I'm going to put Pin in there, move this one to hold both pieces of fabric. They're well outside of that stitch line. And then I'm just going to stitch right along that line right there. And this is the basis of foundation paper piecing. Now, since I am going to be doing all of the piece ones, piece twos, I'm not going to cut it out of my machine. I'm just going to leave it hang out there in the machine. And now I'm going to grab my next one. And I've got a CX and a G. Angle like that. There we go. That's a pretty good guesstimation. I should cover it. So my G is going on there like that. And we're going to give that a pin just to hold it still. Change my angle here just a little bit so it folds over properly. That. Those are the only two pieces on this one. We're just going to stitch that up. And then we'll move on to the next one. And we've got WW and CX. This one here, I'm going to be trimming that up anyway, so I'll let that go over long. Just going to try to line up with that line, which is our next sewing line. Whack that off. There we go. That'll work perfectly. All right, so we're going to flip this over. And that WW is going to fit right there. CX is going there. All right, like that. And we'll throw a pin in here to hold it. Make sure we stay out of the seam line. Now this one here. IM and G. So that will cover the seam. And we're going to trim off the excess. Now I know I can see my line right there. You may not be able to see it on camera, but I can see my line right there. So I'm giving myself plenty of seam line. And then I'm going to cut straight up-ish from the end of here. So I'm just going to kind of pull this out. And then I'm going to go straight up from here. And I am doing this a little bit more time efficiently this time. Since we're now 9 months into this, I'll show you a way we can do this with a little bit more efficiency. And that is, I am doing all of piece 1 and piece 2s on all of the blocks. And then we're going to press them all. We're going to trim them all. And then we'll put all the piece 3s on, and so on, and so on, and so on. GN and IM. Now this, I'm going to trim this top here just a minute, because that's my sewing line. I need to trim this top down here. This one's kind of hard to see, but I can see that my line, okay, now I'm holding parallel to it. I'm going to come up like this, and obviously I don't want to cut here because I'm going to cut my paper. So I'm going to gently slide my paper out and then trim it off. And we've got that GN piece done. Now I'm just going to whack this one out. John, I love that quilt that you made for your mother-in-law. Absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So there, now I've cut that parallel to that. We're going to put this with that. Make sure I've got my seam line. And then that will go on there. And there we go. And I'm going to just put a couple pins in here to hold it down. Now after I stitch it, I am kind of reaching behind and pulling these pins. Now this one, PZ and G. Get that like that. And if I turn here, like that, no, there we go. We're going to put that piece there. There's our seam line right there. Stick a pin in that to hold it still. Some people like to use just some white glue, a glue stick to hold it down. I just feel it leaves so much residue. With the pieces being this big, I can throw a pin or 2 or 3 in here to hold things stable. And that will make me happy. And I don't have residue to deal with. All right, that will fit there. And I tend to just fold it up to what I'm doing.
whack it off with plenty of extra. And then I see I've got a lot of stitch line that goes here. Right about there is where I've got to trim it. Okay. So now we've got CX, which is this red one here. And this one is going to fit in like this. Make sure it covers everything. And I'm going to flip it down. Put a couple pins in away from the seam line and stitch it. Now, this one, big piece on here, QX. Make sure we put there. I'm set that aside so it doesn't accidentally get trimmed. Ooh, hey, there's a rogue piece in there. That's why I always save my little pieces. Ooh, it is going to be big enough. Yay! I'm just going to cut the leg of that, and we'll be good. So now we have this one. Is that right? Nope, it goes this way. And that will go there. Put that over that. And pin. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you. Two colors on this one, BB and PZ. Okay. Now PZ. Now here, I can see my stitch line here. So I'm going to put this down to give myself plenty. Pull that out. Trim this down. So BB, right there. A big wrinkle in the middle of it. So I'm just going to give it a couple pins so it holds straight. PZ, it's going to go right there. Fold that over. And we're going to try to take care of that big wrinkle because I'm too lazy to go over to the iron and flatten it out. Hello friends, hello. Welcome in. Now we want QX and FL. Ooh, that's the right angle. All right, so I can see my line right here. I'm going to trim up to there. Give myself plenty. I know you probably can't see it on camera, but I can see through the fabric enough to see where that line is. Gonna pin this one to hold it still. This piece is going to go there, so I'm going to flip it over. And then we're going to throw some pins in here to hold it still while we stitch it. Now some of these subunits have only got one or two pieces, or two or three pieces in them, so we're going to get done with these subunits pretty quickly. This one's just two, EE and OR. I mean, this one's got, obviously, this one's got a little issue going on, but we've got other parts in it that are perfectly fine. Ah, boogers. But these are all fabrics that I came up with out of my stash and or shopping spree. If you get the kits from Legit, they will come with all of the fabric that you need, and you don't have to guess at what's going to be the best color for that. And that goes on there. And then that goes on there. All right, couple pins in here. Big pieces now. Okay, we need OR. There's my cutting line right there. Double check. You have to shimmy more. I'm going to pull this out and cut. What I need is going to be QN. So a 90-degree corner here, so I'll just take advantage of that. And I can see my line, my stitching line here. And then we will carefully pull this out. And trim off. We've been almost an hour now, and we've gotten through most of the step ones and twos. Let's see. Now we got to figure out which way That's how we had it going. How did we have it? All right. And that covers most of that. That goes there, flips over. There we go. Right. Now we need TA and G along there. Make sure we got enough over there. So this one is going to go right here. This is the line we need to worry about being parallel with. Anything else, we just have to make sure that we've got enough to cover, and it'll get trimmed off later. That will get cut off eventually. And there's another piece over here that's going to get cut off. But I think for ease of everything, I'm just going to ignore the fact that there's a piece over here that's going to get cut off. Double check. This light box is amazing. If you do not have a light box, there's so many ways that you can make this same thing happen without this. You can hold it up to a mirror. You can hold it up to the light in your room. One of the project boxes, the clear plastic boxes that we all have that came originally from the scrapbooking section, those work wonderfully. Stick a light in there, a light beside it so the light comes up underneath it. Glass top coffee table. Any of that works. Now I want QM and PZ. QM. Zip in a corner. No, first thing I'm going to do. Cut that. And that. Should I add that out? I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to trim up the top edge. Trim my cutter. Do this. QM. Like that. Easy. Like that. And a couple pins to hold it still. Now I need that QM again. There's my line right there. Right there. Up here. And then pull that out. Trim it off. Look, this QM here. EZ is going to go flippy flop. How are we going to make it fit right like that? Roll that up here. And a couple pins. QY for most of this, and then OR. So we need QY. So I just need that corner off from this. We are going to, I see this is my stitch line right there. That. There's stitch line covered. I need OR for down here. Put that square corner on there just to make things interesting. And that is Hilda down there. Groaning because she's so waking up from a nap. All right. All right, we're going to go right across there. And that's going to go there. Hold it down. And a couple pins in it. Stitchy, stitchy away. All right. Now here we've got SB and QY. Now SB is very directional. And we went both ways with it. We didn't think about things that well. So I'm going to go up and down with it. This will be the outlayer. I try not to use directional fabric for this, but sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. So I said we're going to go up and down with it. I'm going to go like that. If I can take this out with two rulers on here. Good enough. Good enough. Thank you for the follow. And then we need QY. Get this. And that. Then stitch CT and BB. Trim that. And I'll get the rest of that here in a bit. And there. And BB. That's gonna go like that. Like that. Like that, I think. Yeah. Sometimes that's the hardest part. Which way did I flip this to make it work? And that will go on there. One last seam. And now we'll finally cut it. Now we're going to take all of these over to the iron. Now some of these, it's only 2 pieces, so we will be done with that subunit or whole square or whole block with just 2 pieces. And then from here, we're going to go, we're going to press, we're going to trim all of them. And then we're going to add piece number 3 to all of them that still need a 3rd piece. And then we will press and we'll trim and we'll add piece 4 to those that need a piece 4. I don't know, there may be 1 or 2 that need a 5th piece, but these are all pretty low maintenance pieces. We'll call them low maintenance. Not a whole lot that have a whole lot of pieces. So they're all pressed. Now we're going to start trimming. Let's get all of this out of the way. Now's where we're going to need our index card, our add a quarter, and our rotary cutter. So this one right here, we put piece 1 and piece 2 on. Now piece 3 will be going over here. We are going to fold this over. Add a quarter, gets dropped on there. Trim it off. And then this is going to get set aside. I'm going to make 2 piles because some of these are going to be done. Now here, we put 1 and 2 on. Piece 3, we need to pop this thread down here off from the paper. Take a rip it out there a little bit. Put that on that sewing line. Fold it over. And trim it off. What? I didn't close the blade. Ah, don't tattle on me. Okay, this one is done. I could use this to trim it off. Or I could use a bigger ruler and my fingers will be less likely to be in the way. Now remember, this is your sewing line. This is your cutting line. Do not cut here. You will be sad. So we're going to cut out here. All the way around on this one. All right, that block is completely done. Completely done. I'm going to set it aside. Now here, we got 1 and 2, number 3. Pop the stitches. Fold it on the next sewing line. And trim off the extra. That goes in that pile. This is only 2 pieces. We're going to trim this one down. The outside of that gray area, that seam line. All right, that one's done. Just heard Rob is at dentist and he has confirmed the box is in the house. All right. Excellent. All right, so we got piece 1, 2, 3 will be going on over here. I'm gonna pop this. And fold over. Now this was that piece I think where I said I was just gonna cut it big anyways. That G. This may be big enough to use again. I am the stingy person. I'm going to put it back in the bag for the rest of them to live another day. 1, 2, 3. And turn that up. And this is just 2 pieces. There we go. Now this is a little shy here, but I'm okay with that. It's still well within the seam line, so we're okay with that. This here, we got 1, 2, little number 3 over here. So the 1, 2 is always going to take twice as much time as any of the rest because you're cutting 2 fabrics for each time. So from here on out, you only got to cut 1 fabric. Here we are. This one's all done also. So we're going to trim this one down also. That one's done. 1, 2, and here's 3. Here's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pop that paper again. Okay, about an hour and a half so far, at least according to Mr. Tiki Taki. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this last one is just a 2-piecer. All right, so XX for here. I'm going to cut a piece. A bit more. Not a bad angle. Not a bad angle. All right. All right, we're going to go like this. All right, now we're going to start sewing piece 3s on. And this one needs a PZ. All right, so this will go on here. All right, G. Oh, hey, remember how we had an extra piece? Look, it's going to fit just right. For this one, we need WW. That'll work. Even if the angle's not perfect, just remember it's got to be at least big enough. If you think WWs, let me go like that. BY. BB. We need CX. And I'm going to eyeball a piece for that. The more you do foundation paper piecing, the easier it becomes to eyeball. And then we need OR. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Kind of just running through this now. Piece 3 is going to be FL. That right there. IM. This will go here. Fold that over. And stitch up. BB. Means you are stitching fabric to paper, which will get cut, which will get torn out here. Now we need a big piece. We need EE. All right, so my stitch 9 is up here. Out. And this is going to go on here, like that. I will put a couple pins in this because this is a big piece to hold on to. One here. So we need AF. I'll go over here. All right, and then this is going to go here. Is that what I just decided? Yep. Throw a couple pins in this one too. And then we're going to go back to the iron. And there's only a couple of these that are going to need a piece 4. And then we'll start putting all these units together into blocks and then put all those blocks together to be done. So here we are. We've been an hour and 50 minutes now. We've got maybe an hour. Oh, Erica's on live. I'm going to miss it. All right, let me press these. We've got all these now that we're going to get trimmed up. Most of these we're done with. This one we're not. This one goes, and then we got to finish it pile. All right. So here we go. We're going to trim this. The next seam line between 3 and 4. We're going to put that card right there. Press along there. Add a quarter. And trim that off. And that one goes in the pile of not quite done. This one is done, not quite done. We got to put this piece over here, number 4, on over here.
Almost overlooked that. All right, so we're going to fold this right here. And we're going to trim off that excess. And that will go in the pile that needs to be finished. Need to come in here a little bit. There we go. Now here we are. This one is done. So we're going to trim this one down. So that one's done. This one has a piece 4 that needs to go on it. Welcome in, friends. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to trim that. That'll be piece 4 will go there. And this one, we need piece 4 up here. This one is done. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to trim it up. Hello, friends. Hello, hello. So is anyone in here doing this Vortex block of the month? If you are, give me a heart. I don't care what color it is. Just give me a heart. You don't need to speak. If you want to speak, you can speak and say, I am. Okay, that one is done. 1, 2, 3. This one is done. Nobody in here doing this one? Would anybody in here like to do something like this? Do we have any quilters in here who would like to do something like this? No? You'd like watching me do this? Are there any quilters in here? Stick your hand up. Let me know that you're in here. Who's in here with a quilter? This one's done. This one needs a piece 4. Nobody in here? Everybody got their catch everybody's tongue? Nobody's talking? Trimming this one up. This one is all done. Now let's see. This one has a piece 4. So we're going to tear back the paper. You just have so many other projects going on. Oh, I can totally get that. It is fun. This is the block of the month. In theory, you can have, just a little bit to do every month. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You're not overwhelmed by that whole kit that's sitting over there on the other side of the room, staring at you every time you sit down and catch your breath, or every time you want to do something else. It's staring at you. I have those projects. My Chromecast just blocked up on me again. Let's see if it comes back or if I got to reboot it again. I keep trimming away. Welcome in, friends. That one's done. There's the done pile. This one's done. You're going to try to complete paper, piece, and quilt by March. I'm very hungry. Oh, that sounds like a fun one. I've seen that. Oops. Hold it up. Feet up in the bottom of the pile. Oh, yay! The TV came back. I just kind of needed to go. Yes, the Hungry Caterpillar does sound like fun. I love that book. So we've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6-ish pieces left to add on, and then we'll be starting to put everything together. Okay, I am. All right, like that will work. Okay, so this is going to go on here, and we're just going to hold it. And I got a little bit of G. QY. Now, if you are a legit kit person who is doing this and you want to see something again, I will put it on YouTube. All right, PZ.
couple more pieces to add here, and then we're going to start putting everything together. Now we're putting all the piece 4s on, and that will put all of the pieces on. We've got this and one other piece to go, and then we've got all of our pieces on, and then we're going to put all of our subunits together, and we'll be done. And that will be month 9. One more here. And this is SB up here. And remember, SB was the one that was directional, and it's going to go this way. You know, we're just going to do this. That's going to go like that. Now we're going to take these over and press them. Of course, the dog wants to go out. She can wait. All right, now we're going to trim all of these down to their final size. And we're going to start putting these units together. That's what we're doing with that for today. Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. We are working on quilt. Legit kits. First block of the month called Vortex. Making it with the teak fabrics. We're working on month 9. Trimming down some of these units right now. When we are all done with this project, it will end up looking like this. And we are working on this little section right here today. You can sit down, hang out with us, learn something about quilting. That piece is done. When I'm all done with this, I will have the whole video put over there, you know where. I'll edit it down, maybe cut some of the boring parts. So if anyone has any questions about what I was doing, you can go over there and hopefully get an answer. Comment for me here, there, anywhere. I will try to answer for you. All right. So now, let's see if we can get all of this put together. So we've got E1 is all done. E1 is done. We're moving on from that. E2, we're going to find all the pieces for E2. There's E2. E2 is all done also. There's E2, all done. E3, we got that piece and that piece. So we got to put those two together. So we're going to match up points where this seam is and this seam. We're going to match up here and down here. So to do that, we're going to put a pin. So we got to put a pin right in that intersection. Make sure that it comes through right there. Okay. And then we're going to put it in right here. Make sure that it comes through right at that intersection. Okay. Now we're going to turn it so that everything lays even. Now I'm going to stick a pin right through where those gray seams come together. Should pop it through right over there. Absolutely. Now I'm going to put a pin in horizontal, both places. If I don't catch the paper, that's okay. I want to make sure I can catch the fabric. And then we're going to come down to this end. And where those seams come together, should go in, come through,
right where those seams come together. And then we're going to throw a pin in. And we're going to probably throw 2 pins in along here to make sure that nothing goes askew as we sew it. And then I'm just going to stitch on that line right there. Your stitching is right on that line. And right on that line. Now I'm going to remove that paper before I press the seam. I strongly recommend tear your paper off out. If you tear it like this, you risk opening that seam up. There we go. And now I'm going to go press the seam open. By pressing the seams open, it kind of helps with some of the bulk when you have a whole bunch of seams that come together. There we go. Now E3 is done. That goes in my done pile. Now we're going to find all the pieces for E4. There's E4. All right, so these two go together to make E4. Again, we're going to match up these, this. Okay? And then I'm going to sew the seam. All right. Stitches right along there. And there. And we're going to tear this paper away. And then I'm going to go press this open. There you go. And then that's E1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we've got F1 is already done. F2 is these two. So again, we're going to match up here. And then these guys. Stitch this. And again, I'll take the paper from the seam line. Now I've got a tiny little wedge of fabric there stuck between the seams. I'm going to find a seam ripper just as a small tool to reach in there and pull that out. Or whatever small tool you might have. Maybe your fingernails are small. Maybe you've got those pointy little fingernails or something that can reach in there. I don't. There's F2. F3 is 3 pieces. Pretty easy to figure out that that's how they go. Sometimes it's not so easy. And that is where these papers come in handy. So that you know, okay, it is going to lay out like that. And we're going to sew this together first and then this to this. So here we're going to sew this one first. Yes, it was geese. I had to pop my window open. I'm in the loft and it was getting hot. So yes, it was geese flying over my house. Oh, flying geese, more than just a quilt block. So what's happening outside Amy's window? Now, any of the patterns that you get from Legit Kits, they're going to be printed on newsprint, so that's going to tear away easier. This is some newsprint that I purchased myself. It's not the best. It's not as good as the stuff that you're going to get in your kit from Legit. And then those are going to go together. This intersection is going to match up with that.
All right, there we go. And then we'll take these out. Now, this tiny little piece here is going to soon be covered up with all of these going around it. So I'm going to go ahead and take that take the paper off from that one piece while I can get to it and get all that all the paper out. Okay. And then I'm going to press this open. Key area. There's that. All right, now F4, this is our most piecey piece here. So we've got piece A, B, C, D, E, and F. We're going to put A to B, AB to C, ABC to D, and then we're going to add on E, and then we're going to add on F. That's how it's showing right up here in the directions. That'll be seam 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So let's lay these out. B goes there. E's going to go down there. B is here. A is there. C is there. And F is there. Okay, so again, we're going to do these guys. And then add on this, then add on that, then add on that, then add on that. Okay? So here we go. Same as before, we're going to match up any intersections and then the ends together. So we've got probably another half hour or so of work, which will put us at right about 3 hours to put this together. And we're going to add this one in. And I'm going to stitch it on this side since I've got this seam. That way I don't end up flipping it over. Tear this paper out. All right, and now we've got seam 1, 2. Now here's seam 3. And we'll tear the paper out here. Go. And then we're going to add this one on. Tear out the paper. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. All right. And then this one is going to go on here. All right, let me sew this. Start putting these blocks together to make that section right there. So we are going to start with E1, E2, F1, F2. Okay? We're going to make 4 blocks or 2 blocks of 4. So I'm going to put these 2 together first. All right, so we're going to put these 2 together. And now I'm going to attach this to this. So just like before, we'll match up points. So there's 4 of them. Now that's how big our blocks or our month units have been before. But this month, it's twice as big. So that's half. I'll set that aside. Now we've got, let's see, there's F3, F4.
E3, E4. So I'll put these guys together. These two first. All right, we're going to put these guys together. All right, so those two are going to go together. All right, now I've got 1, 2, and 3, 4 to go together, and then we're done. Then we have everything done. Hey, Courtney. All right. I'm happy. All right, there we go. This is, get that off. All of month 9. So the part that we did is this area right here. Okay, we just did. So that's month 9. Month 10 will be the parts down below here that finish it out. And then 11, we're going to move to this part. And then 12 will be the bottom down here. So I am going to kick out of here. I will be downloading this and editing it to shorten it up. It took us 3 hours, a little over 3 hours or so to put that together. And I'm going to kind of edit it down, speed it up, cut out some parts and all of that. Love you too, kiddo. And then I will post it over on the tube of you.